The one thing that strikes me most, especially about the first few albums from Sloan, is the albums never seem to fall victim of like 90s production. All of the songs have aged very well. They don't sound like they were made in the 90s. And I think a lot of that might, or at least some of it might have to do with sort of the throwback elements in the songwriting.
Yeah, so our first record came out in 1992, and it was kind of au courant, like kind of the time. And even we thought maybe even a little bit behind the times. Like our reference points were My Bloody Valentine and the sort of shoegazer acts of England. And the record that we really loved was called Isn't Anything by My Bloody Valentine, that came out in 1988. And our record, which was essentially paying tribute to that, came out 4 years later. So in the scheme of things, we're kind of behind the times. But in Canada, we were kind of like new music, and Nirvana hit right then, so we kind of lumped in with grunge and that kind of thing too. We also loved Nirvana, so we benefited from the timing of that. But by the time we were going to make our second record, we really felt that every bar band had sort of turned alternative and was wearing plaid and was kind of like imposters in on this alternative scene, and we thought it would come down like House of Cards or whatever. It was like, let's get out of here. And by our second record, we really made an effort to make, timeless music. Did this come out in 1981 or 1994 or 2004 or 1965? So in some ways, maybe that hurt us commercially in that, we didn't get to benefit from the scene that was happening or whatever. But I think when we look back, we're not, as you say, we're not embarrassed by the 90s production, or we really took great pains to be not of the time. Yeah.
It's great because it really is it's timeless, right? It has aged very, very well.
I'd like to think so, but I appreciate you saying. So I didn't have to say it.
There's kind of a fun story. I mean, it was 13 years ago, so you might not remember, but you played here.
Is that the Princess?
In 2003 at the Canadian nightclub.
Was it once the Princess?
No, the Princess. Yeah, that was a different venue. Yeah,
Okay.
I was also at that Princess show, but a journalist that worked for Sue Today at the time wrote a story about how. A couple of the band members struck up a conversation and got invited over for dinner at a local doctor's house.
Oh, at Ashley Poitevin's house, yeah. So we've become good friends with the daughter, with Ashley. She's the one that we met. That was in the paper?
Yeah.
Well, she was sweet and still is, and we still, I'm in direct contact with her. And she manages that woman Lights, and I think she's involved in band management and that kind of thing. And she's lovely. Yeah, she was just a kid. I think she was in grade 11, and she was walking her dog. And Andrew and I went over to dinner, and the parents were awesome. I've seen them a couple times over the years. Yeah, they were awesome.
So, are you eating at Dr. Poitevin's house this time around?
Is this live?
No, it's not live. It's going to be edited.
Oh, I was going to say, can we come over? I'm available.
Nice home cooked meal.
They're awesome. And maybe they'll come out. I mean, they're cool like that. Like maybe they would show up, but I don't want to. I would hate to think that they felt like I hoped they would come. Like they're all. I don't go to shows. I'm an adult. I have kids. I'm not going out late at night anyway.
Well, awesome. We're really looking forward to the show tonight. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
Of course. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everyone, and stay tuned.